This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 18th day of November in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The APNU-AFC has moved to the court to get Tourism Minister Onej Waldron removed as a Member of Parliament because of her dual citizenship at the time of her appointment. Court proceedings were filed today by Opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones through Attorney-at-Law Senior Counsel Roysdale Ford, who was also an Opposition Member of Parliament. The attorney Roysdale Ford said enough time was given for the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Minister herself to act on the revelations that she was still a U.S. citizen at the time of her appointment as a Member of Parliament.
We have decided that we have waited patiently and we have waited enough to afford the Speaker of the National Assembly the opportunity to take a decision with respect to the continued occupation of a seat by Ms. Onej Waldron in the National Assembly. We also think that we have been patient enough to permit Ms. Onej Waldron herself to reflect on the fact that she currently does not occupy any position in the National Assembly which is premised or rested on any constitutional standing.
The opposition is seeking a declaration that the position being held by Ms. Waldron as a Member of Parliament is not in good standings, and she should therefore step down from the position. Waldron is a non-elected Member of Parliament. The opposition is also seeking an order that Ms. Waldron is not a valid Member of Parliament. An additional order is being sought to prohibit her from making any pronouncements on the business of the National Assembly. Senior Counsel Ford explained that while Ms. Waldron has renounced her U.S. citizenship, it was done after she took the oath of office, and as such she took the oath as an illegal Member of Parliament since at the time of the oath she was a dual citizen.
If we go back further in time to the 5th of August, you would remember that Ms. Onej Waldron solemnly took an oath to become a Minister of Government. The Constitution requires Article 103 and Article 105 indicate and provide that you must be able to be qualified to be elected as a minister and or a member of the National Assembly. On that date, 5th of August, Ms. Onej Waldron was incapable of seriously taking that oath because she was still a citizen of the United States. We are required, all of us, every citizen of this country, if you wish to serve as a member of the Parliament or a member of the National Assembly, you must not be a dual citizen, to use a term that has taken currency in Guyana.
And in the wake of the proceedings, the attorney has extended an invitation to those who have spoken in the past about breaches of the Constitution to join the proceedings and also speak up loudly.
I extend this case for Mr. Christopher Ram to appear with me, for Mr. Timothy Jonas to appear with me, to Mr. Ralph Ramkaran to appear with me.
The APNU-AFC Wyland government sought the resignation of 4 of its ministers over their dual citizenship status and the clear ruling of the court on the matter following the no-confidence vote. Based on U.S. Embassy documents of renunciation of citizenship, the Tourism Minister was still a U.S. citizen when she was sworn in as a Member of Parliament on the 1st of September 2020. In the documents provided to the National Assembly by the Minister herself, her loss of U.S. citizenship was approved on the 8th of September, 7 days after she was sworn in as a Member of Parliament. But more importantly, the documents also revealed that Waldron presented herself to the U.S. Embassy's consular officer on the 4th of September to renounce her U.S. citizenship, and that was 3 days after she was already sworn in as a Member of Parliament. The Constitution of Guyana prohibits the holder of dual citizenship from serving in the National Assembly. More news coming up in a moment.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people we have
weathered every storm
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
All the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
Finally, Miss Pepper is here to tell you about Ravinas on Water Street and Anans on Regent Street. Just received a fresh shipment of glassware for your kitchen. Drinking glassware have beautiful crystal design and are packed in gorgeous gift box. Ideal to give to your friends, family, and order for Christmas. Ravinas and Anans have unbeatable prices. Visit them at Ravinas on 70A Water Street or Anans on 108 Regent Street or call 225-6595.
That's a great start powered by Yuasa Battery. Yuasa Battery is the #1 Japanese brand. It's durable, improves performance, maintenance-free, and comes with absorbent glass mat technology. Yuasa Battery, trusting starting power for over 100 years. Choose Yuasa Battery for the best battery for your vehicles. Yuasa Batteries distributed by JCA Trading Inc. Telephone number 231-9446-9.
We all know a strong educational foundation is a key to successful learning. Global Technology combines award-winning curriculum with innovative technology and teacher support to help students reach their potential. Our online platform creates an engaging learning experience. Using any device, you can be a part of amazing class discussions, collaborate with others, and have access to virtual learning software. With our multiple payment methods, you will never have to leave home. Find out how Global Technology can allow you to learn anything, anywhere, at any time.
Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Welcome back. Guyana's Attorney General Anil Nandlal has filed a lawsuit against former coalition government minister Jaipal Sharma and PNC member and attorney James Bond. Mr. Nandlal is seeking in excess of $25 million from each of the two men over posts they made on the social media site Facebook. In a Facebook post made on Tuesday, Mr. Sharma is alleged to have made statements about Mr. Nandlal's private law firm and its alleged involvement in representing interests in the transfer of lands under the previous PP civic government. Mr. Nandlal has denied the allegations and first reached out to Sharma on the issue, threatening that legal action will be taken if the post was not moved. Sharma stood by his allegations and Nandlal has now kept his promise to move to the court over the Facebook post. He is claiming damage to his character and his law firm over the Facebook post made by Sharma, which he described as false and defamatory. He wants the court to issue a permanent injunction against Sharma for making any similar posts and is also seeking an apology by order of the court. The Attorney General is also seeking court orders against PNC member and attorney James Bond over statements he made on a social media site when he shared a post from Mr. Sharma. Nandlal claims that Bond acted with malice when he shared a Facebook status from Sharma and made statements of his own which Nandlal feels were directed at him. In addition to $25 million, the Attorney General also wants an apology from Bond over the statements made on Facebook, which he believes were derogatory towards him. Mr. Nandlal recently caused an investigation to be launched into at least 2 land deals that were done with Bond as the attorney in the matters. His office has released various pieces of information on the issue to the media, even as the matter is under investigation. Mr. Bond has denied the allegations and has repeatedly called out the Attorney General over his actions. On the police blotter, a 15-year-old boy from Kitty died this afternoon, several hours after he was rushed to the hospital after being shot to the head, allegedly by his 17-year-old friend. The young boy passed away this afternoon after doctors declared that he was brain dead hours before. He remained unresponsive in the intensive care unit at the Georgetown Hospital since being admitted there early this morning. According to his aunt Amanda Saul, her nephew was at a sleepover at one of his close friends when the incident occurred. She said her family learned of the shooting incident at around 5:30 this morning, although it had taken place 3 hours earlier in the Sandy Bab Street area. The aunt said the family was left in a complete shock when they visited the hospital and saw the motionless young man in the intensive care unit, with very few answers being provided about the shooting incident.
We go to the hospital. From there, we identify my nephew. He is lying there with a tube in his mouth, gunshot wound to his head, face swelling up. In the Pampers, he just lying there. The doctors talk to us, tell us that how the neurologist, how he is brain dead. They do a scan and how they find fragments in the head. There is a bullet in there, and how they can't do any surgery right now because the brain is swelling. So they rule out possibility he can make it.
The aunt explained that the suspect in the shooting has since been arrested. After the shooting incident, the parents of the suspect reportedly hid him at another house, but he was later held and taken into custody.
I saw the mother this morning. Apparently, the mother told me that her son called her last night and tell her he shoot somebody. And the mother and the father rush and go there. And they drop my nephew off at the hospital. And where we're living over the river is right next door to where this boy, mother and father's be. It's two residents. His mother and father have a resident over the river and Sandy Bab Kitty. And where we are living is right next door. So the mother went there, bring over her son, didn't even mention or say anything to us. Well, you know, X, Y, or Z. They just call the ambulance, drop my nephew off at the hospital. I identified, they didn't identify him. The doctors didn't pay no attention to him.
A full police investigation is on the way into the incident tonight. The Ministry of Health has reclassified the death of an 11-year-old girl as COVID-19 related. The girl was admitted to the Georgetown Hospital and died 11 days ago in the COVID-19 intensive care unit after she was taken there. In a statement last night, the ministry said although the girl did not have any coronavirus symptoms and was admitted for another ailment, the fact that she died while being a positive coronavirus case would mean that her death will be classified as COVID-19. The young girl's mother has been seeking answers from the health ministry on her child's death. The woman told news source that her child was admitted with a pneumonia complaint and was active and recovering well until she was taken to the coronavirus intensive care unit after a test result came back positive for coronavirus. The mother said that she could not understand why the young girl was taken to the coronavirus ICU, although she was not in distress and had no symptoms of coronavirus. The mother said hours after her upbeat child was taken to the COVID-19 ICU, she received a call about her death. The Ministry of Health now claims that the child had leukemia. The mother told news source that she was only told of a possible cancer diagnosis after the child's death. She is demanding answers. Guyana recorded its 142nd coronavirus-related death late yesterday, according to the latest data from the Ministry of Health. The latest victim is a 66-year-old man from Region 3. He passed away at a medical institution. Meanwhile, 24 new cases of coronavirus have been recorded in the country. 14 of the 24 new cases are from Region 8. The total number of active cases currently stands at 802, with the majority of those persons in home isolation. The Health Ministry has also recorded 32 new recoveries.
As of today, I think the cases have dropped to about 157. So yeah, I mean, we constantly monitor, and once people remain asymptomatic for 10 days, then we discharge them. So we have been seeing that a lot of people would have met the 10-day requirement and remain asymptomatic, and so we have discharged them. We no longer consider them to be active.
Education ministers from across the region have been reminded of education's critical role in the post-COVID-19 economic recovery as the 25th special meeting of CARICOM's Council for Human and Social Development opened. CARICOM Secretary General Ambassador Erwin LaRocque reminded the meeting that there is no economic recovery and resilience without an education system designed to strengthen workforce capacity and innovation. The Secretary General said there is a need for a regional system that is responsive, technologically enabled, and geared towards nurturing the skills and dispositions needed to reshape and advance society. He also noted that a health emergency is threatening the progress made in the implementation of the CARICOM Human Resource Development 2030 strategy, which was designed to create that workforce. Ambassador Rock indicated that the CARICOM Secretariat has been collaborating with member states and development partners to coordinate a range of activities to support a new focus on technology-enabled instruction and social and emotional skills. Guyana is being represented at the CARICOM meeting virtually by the Minister of Education, Priya Manikchand. Still with education matters, the University of the West Indies has been invited by President Irfan Ali to help drive forward this country's human resource development strategy. According to a statement from UWI, the Vice Chancellor of UWI, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, held a virtual meeting with President Irfan Ali in early November, and the two discussed a strategy for the country's future described as exciting and sustainable. The University of the West Indies is currently negotiating an agreement with the government of Guyana to help to train up to 20,000 nationals over the next 5 years through the UWI Open Campus. The move represents an opportunity, according to the UWI, not only to help build a fellow CARICOM nation's capital infrastructure for economic, social, and cultural development, but also to bring the university's internationally recognized brand of excellence into the country. It is unclear whether any offer was made to the University of Guyana for a similar initiative. Across the Region is coming up next. Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc.
Season is here once again, and we encourage everybody to be safe. Between October 23rd and December 31st, buy your groceries and fuel from Falls, and you can win a Christmas hamper every week or your fuel purchase free. Just spend $3,000, complete the coupon, drop it in the box, and then listen for your name. And to make it even better, you can win a bumper hamper on Christmas Eve day. Yes, our prices are great, the environment is safe, and everyone wins when you shop in the Falls Christmas promotion, Land of Canaan.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Been through it all.
But as a people we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
All the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Across the region right now, Argentina's President Alberto Fernandez is to present a new bill to Congress on legalizing abortion, a campaign pledge delayed by the coronavirus outbreak. He says the measure will help save lives, as every year almost 40,000 women in Argentina are treated in hospitals after botched illegal procedures. Abortion in Argentina is currently allowed only in cases of rape or if the mother's health is in danger. It is largely prohibited across Latin America, except in restricted cases. If the bill is passed, Argentina, an overwhelmingly Roman Catholic nation, will become the largest country in the region to legalize abortion. The St. Lucia government has signaled its intention to introduce a tourism levy that it said will help finance the marketing and development of the industry. The government said it has been holding extensive consultations over the past 2 years with key stakeholders in the tourism industry, and that the implementation of the tax follows the introduction of the Tourism Levy Act and amendments to the St. Lucia Tourism Authority Act. According to the authorities, as of December 15, guests staying at registered accommodation service providers will be required to pay a prescribed nightly levy on their stay. In the two-tier system, guests will be charged either $3 or $6 per person per night, depending on a room rate below or above $120. A rate of 50% of the tourism levy will apply to guests who are 12 to 17 years at the end of their stay. The fee will not apply to children under the age of 12. In addition, the government will, from the 1st of December, reduce the value-added tax from 10 to 7% for tourism accommodation service providers. The government announcement states that the levy will strengthen the ability of the island as a tourism destination, to increase its marketing, and to support tourism development with a tax that correlates to visitor arrivals. And finally, at this time, international news. The coronavirus vaccine developed by Pfizer and BioNTech appears to protect 94% of adults over 65 years old. More data released from their continuing phase 3 trial suggests it works equally well in people of all ages and ethnicities. The companies say they will now apply for authorization for emergency use of the jab in the US. The trial involved 41,000 people worldwide. Last week, Pfizer and BioNTech published preliminary data suggesting the vaccine offered 90% protection against COVID-19 and said there were no safety concerns. This was followed by data on a vaccine made by US company Moderna suggesting nearly 95% protection, and similarly promising results from trials of another developed vaccine in Russia called Sputnik. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.